Hey, um, I have not been feeling good for a while, for a long time, actually. Um, there's been a lot going on with the whole, I guess, MLP fandom and EQG fandom. I guess it's all in one type of thing. Um, but I'm making this video for anybody out there who's wondering what's going on or why I am not on YouTube that much or avoiding Twitter. Because I am pretty sure everyone knows I've been avoiding Twitter. So, um, I'm pretty sure a lot of you know some things that's happened with me and a friend of mine. I'm not gonna name, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people who are in the in the fandom know what's going on. I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, I went to jail. Um, whole fight happened, but I have not said anything about my side. I haven't said anything because I knew and I felt like no one's gonna believe anything that I'm saying. So I basically just felt like I shouldn't say anything at all because I mean there's videos about me now and people sending death threats and posts and memes and I don't it's hard to deal with. Um, it's been stressing me out for a while and I haven't been able to talk about it. The only person I've been able to talk about it to is my significant other and a couple very small friends that I've been able to conversate with about it, but I have not spread it anywhere on Twitter, on YouTube, anything because I didn't want this person to know about anything. I didn't want anybody to know about anything. So I just didn't talk about it. So for clearing up, if y'all know what's going on and if y'all know the person that I'm talking about, then I didn't I didn't try to attack anyone. I wasn't trying to attack anybody. I wasn't trying to do anything to this person. I'm not trying to mess up any lives. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm sorry, this is making me nervous. Uh, but, um, yeah, I wasn't trying to do anything or ruin anyone's lives. I'm not. I'm just trying to live my life, and that's pretty much it. I being in jail for something so small wasn't even it didn't even make any sense. I didn't do anything to this person to honestly harm them. I wasn't stalking them. I wasn't doing anything wrong to them. There's so many people out there that do worse things to that person. But it's like I did something small like that and it's a very, 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 very big thing. I don't know, but all I gotta say is that it's for me saying anything about it, it wasn't gonna help at all. Nobody was gonna listen. No one was gonna understand what was going on with my side at all. At least that's what it felt like. Um, so basically, we had an argument in our apartment was about friendship based shit. Basically, they felt like I was shutting people out. I wasn't. I was just letting them know how I felt. I didn't want anybody to talk about my anxiety. I didn't want anybody to talk about my PTSD. I just wanted to relax and be fine. I didn't have a job at the time. I do admit to that. I didn't have a job at the time. My significant other at that time had told me that, oh yeah, it was fine to, I get a job at the moment. Then Corona set in. I was worried because there were so many people going like, no, we're not getting jobs. I did start looking for some jobs, but I was like, well, I don't know. I was afraid at the same time because this whole Corona thing starting, there was lots of people getting sick at that time. And so many people dying. And my significant other at that time said, you have anxiety, you're not feeling okay, you don't have to work, I'll just help you and I'll be there for you. And I was just like, oh, okay. So I did commissions and I tried to contribute with a little bit I had to the house. Even though I was just like, shouldn't I just go ahead and find a job? The first day I got there to be with him, I was like really adamant on getting a job. I was like, should I hurry up and get a job? Should I find one? But to the point of the story is that me and this person got into a fight. Words were said, even some words that I wish I never had said, which was pretty childish. I feel like I said some things that were pretty childish. I know we both did, but I'm not gonna say it on that person's part. I mean, on my part. For me, I'm sorry for that. It's pretty stupid to say things out of anger. And pretty childish to say it out of anger. It doesn't make any sense. I don't even know why I said it in the first place. But it was only because of something being said that made me say it. But still, it doesn't validate that. That I will apologize for. I know exactly why. And what I'm apologizing for. But after that, we argued. Nobody was touched until, the person kept pronouncing their words to spit. It's like if you pronounce your words harshly enough, you will spit, by mistake or on purpose. And I felt like, I was like, well, why the hell are you, feels like you're spitting on me? And it's like my anxiety was already up. And I was nervous. I was just like, well, this person's constantly just in my face spitting on me. And I'm like, well, okay. So I started to yell, and we were both yelling already. And this person was just like, oh, haha, look at them. They're being a childish baby. They're being a baby, having a tantrum on the floor, and constantly saying despair, 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 or whatever. I remember it all vividly, of course, because I have dreams about it. But, onward with what's going on. We're arguing with each other, I took a box of the person's tea and I tossed the tea bags on the floor when we were arguing. They called me a baby a couple more times. They called my significant other the N-word. And my significant other just kind of stood there and said whatever, but not the point. There was an argument, but I did kick them. I kicked them with a fluffy slipper, though. It was a unicorn slipper. And it was in this point of the leg, right here. This point of the leg, right there. I don't know how, so it was hard for me to get at them to kick them anyway in the first place. But I wasn't
I didn't have on steel toe boots, and there were no razors in the boots. She didn't get cut, and nothing happened. So I don't know. But after that happened, I was nervous. My significant other wouldn't hug me or anything. I kept telling him to come here. He wouldn't touch me or hug me or anything. And then the cops came after they were called by this person. My roommate, which is my ex-best friend, had called, and they told the police that, oh, well, I was attacked. They mentioned that me and my significant other had tasers, which, yes, that was something that was in that tweet, but they were never, and I mean never, used. No one used them. I didn't pick them up and use them, and I know I didn't see my significant other use them, but this isn't really about what he did. So I know I never used them against her. I never used them against him, never used them against anyone, never used them against on anybody. So no one took a taser out in that fight. That wouldn't make sense to take out a taser. I'm not trying to self-defend. I mean, nobody was throwing punches. But even so, sadly, I did go to jail because I did still kick her. So it wasn't a great time, but I went to jail. And this is really, really fucking hard to talk about. They put me in handcuffs. I remember when I was sitting in the car, all I wanted to do was clutch on to my significant other that I was with at the time, or hug someone, or talk to someone, or just see someone that knew what the fuck was going on. I felt like I was losing my significant other, my best friends, and everybody at the same time. Me and my ex-best friend's significant other had an argument as well. There was things said between us. I really wish we didn't get into that argument. It didn't seem like it didn't seem like a need to argue, but I argued because they felt that their significant other was, like, oh, well, you hurt their feelings because it was something that I saw. So the reason why this whole thing started was because I was playing with, my ex-best friend's phone, and I saw my name, and like anybody who would see their name, they'd probably scroll up because I'm like, oh, I guess they said something good about me. They didn't. But that's why this whole thing started. My ex-best friend found out about it. They were like, oh, why did you look at my phone? I was like, no, I wasn't trying to actively look and go in your phone. I'm not like that. I scrolled up because I saw my name. And I was like, oh, okay, so they must have said something about me, I guess. Curiosity. Probably shouldn't have looked. But I saw it anyway, and I was being talked about, but not in a good way. I remember telling my ex-best friend in the morning. They weren't too happy about it, and I didn't feel good that I saw it. But at the same time, I felt bad because I know I've heard them say things about my anxiety before. And I was like, well, I don't know if I'm being a bother to them. If I am being a bother to them, then I don't know. But I addressed that. And I told them how I felt. I told them that I didn't like being talked about. Like, I didn't like what I saw. Even though I wasn't supposed to see it, I still didn't like that I was being talked about. I didn't like it. It's like it was in the comfort of what they wanted to say. I get that. And I know that people talk behind people's backs. They say what they want in the comfort of their own feelings. But still, I didn't know it was that bad. If I was getting that horrible, then I guess I should have been pulled to the side and this should have all been taken care of earlier. Maybe things would have been a bit better. I don't know. Maybe stuff would have been different. But I'm not trying to start a fight with this person. I'm not trying to even do anything to this person, because this person has had people trying to imposter them, people trying to, do things to them. I've been best friends with them for a while, so I wouldn't know how this works. There would be people who would get in a tussle with them, and then they would get mad and imposter them. And I was like, well, that's not the route that I'm trying to take. It's a pretty stupid route. I'm not about to imposter somebody. It's not my business. And I don't get any enjoyment out of making somebody feel bad. I already feel bad. Like, I'm fucking shaking. I don't feel happy right now. I haven't felt happy for a while. I mean, I don't know if anybody looks at my art or anything or tries to keep up with what I do. Even if you don't, that's fine. But there are people who have been looking, who looked at my art before. I haven't been even posting much art on Twitter because no one really sees it anymore. Not like I'm saying, oh, hey, pay attention to me, but I mean, people used to at least say, oh, well, that looks nice, or like it or something. Now it just kind of sits there. But, I mean, it's not bad. But, yeah. But, basically, I am making this video, and I still have some stuff to talk about, because I've been shutting myself in and not talking. I have been hiding and not saying anything and just letting all my emotions stir in, and I'm just like, well, I don't know, I am scared and nervous because there's so many people on that person's side and not that many people on my side. It's basically that person has a gun and I got a knife, basically, so it's not a fair fight. That's why I didn't say anything, because I feel like as soon, and I know, I have a feeling as soon as this just goes up or goes out, it's gonna be thousands of people either memeing it, taking video of it, or thinking that it's funny. Hey, I guess that's how you feel, but it's not funny. I'm not happy. I don't feel good about this. I know I keep saying that, but that's all I feel like I can say. I've lost a lot of friends. I mean, of course it's been hard. I made a new couple of friends, new couple of people that I've made friends with. It's been very, very hard. It's been a hard struggle, and I'm trying to make it through. I have been having suicidal thoughts. I don't like to tell my significant other that. They've been really supportive, and I know they don't like seeing me like this. I don't like seeing myself like this. I wasn't asked to be made that way. But, basically, what I'm here to say is, I'm not trying to do anything to this person. I don't want anything done to me. I just wanted to make content here. I just wanted to be myself. But then things got fucked up. But basically on the topic of what happened is, of course, I went to jail. No one beat me up, no one hurt me. There were surprisingly a couple of nice people in there. There was even a really nice woman that lent me one last call of hers. And without that last call, I probably wouldn't have been here on the outside. So I always think about those people that I was in jail with, because they weren't bad people. They may have done some things, maybe had some miscommunications in their life. That's probably why they're there. It's probably miscommunications or something. But they didn't seem like bad people. They tried to help me the best way they could and tried to make me feel at home, even though I wasn't in a good place at the moment. It's really hard talking about this without crying or tearing up or feeling bad or yeah. So, but basically, after that, I was in a jail cell. I was cold. I was crying a lot. So all I could do was just sit there and cry. I barely ate in there because my anxiety just didn't let me eat. Like, I seriously wouldn't eat, like, hold anything down. My body wouldn't let me. It would not let me. I would eat something. It was literally kind of funny at one point. I remember I was sitting there just eating, and I was like, oh, I hope I'm going to be able to get out of here. And I just, like, felt like heaving, just throwing up anything that I ate. It wasn't great. I remember holding all the blankets because I was cold as shit. And I missed my significant other at the time because he didn't hold or hug me at all before I left. Didn't do anything. But I had asked them to, like, at least say, I tried to ask the police could I hug him before I left, and they said no. I wasn't surprised, but at the same time, I don't think he was really trying to give me a hug anyway. But that's okay. But yeah, I remember I would be crying for just someone to be there, someone to talk to. And then the lady that I was cellmates with, sometimes she talked to me because she heard me crying. It wasn't fun, but I'm not saying that they didn't make it easier. They made me realize that that wasn't the most horriblest thing that could have ever happened, but the atmosphere was harsh. But the people weren't. The people, the outside, it was like just cold ice on the outside, the way it looks, but in the inside is very warm. Like, the people are the warmth. They were very sweet. They played cards. They were trying to make me feel better. They were trying to calm down my anxiety. But I got out and everything, I would say a day and a half later. And of course, somebody may be going like, "Oh, why is she crying over a day and a half in jail?" I mean, it's my first time. I've never gone through court matters before, so I had to do
after I got out of jail, I had to do court checkups, like, well, not court checkups, but daily checkups with the bond, bail bonds and whatnot, and I did those every day to make sure I did not go back into bigger legal matters. That would have been even worse. And I was like, no, I already have enough going on. So I went to those every single day that I could, that was scheduled. I never missed one. They have all the markings on each Tuesday that I came, each and every Tuesday. But now my Tuesdays are shuffle meets, so that's something that's a better thing to replace Tuesdays with, instead of thinking that they're bail bond checkups. They're just shuffle meet nights now. So basically after that, when I got after that, my significant other signed the bond. He was the name of my bond, and I was in there. I was out. I was happy. I was free, but I still had to go into checkups. So I wasn't completely free. I could be outside free as long as I do what I'm supposed to, basically. But I remember when I got back home and everything, because I couldn't go back to my the apartment I was there with, because my ex-best friend was still there, and we still had that argument. We had to be separated completely until they moved. So I was at my significant other's family's house, and when I got there, I opened up my computer, and oh boy, this is the hard part. So I opened up my messages. My significant other has gone back to our apartment, and I'm sitting in the room alone. I open up my computer, and I see, like, I'd say 8 to 9 messages of just friends and people just going like, well, screw you, I hope you stay in jail. You deserve it. You need to go back to jail. If you're out, you need to go back. If you're in, stay in. I hope you get, weeks, months, years in jail. I am not saying this to say it. There was legit people on my Discord just spewing it. And I was like, well, now I'm in for it. I'm in for it now. Because the big piece of the pie here is that it's all over Twitter for everyone to see. And all over YouTube for everyone to see. Anybody can type in my name now and just see a video about drama come up, because that's what's going on now. So, basically, there was people saying, hey, fuck you, I hope you stay in jail, I hope you rot, you piece of shit, I remember it, because it was from friends, so it hurt even more. And they were saying human scum, go to hell, stuff like that. I'm glad you're going to jail. I'm glad you're getting what you deserved. I hope you think about that in jail. Stuff like that. I noticed that I didn't have my friends anymore. And I felt ultimately alone. Which is exactly the point. Obviously, I get it, but it didn't feel good. I cried a lot that night. I barely went to sleep, but I remember telling my significant other that I'm like, oh, there's people. They're just saying stuff to me in Discord, and he's just like, don't worry about it, I told you, don't worry about it, don't worry about it, don't think about it. you have my family. Don't think about it. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. Just stop thinking about it. It's like they would rush it along a lot, and I'd be like, well, I guess I just won't think about it then. I got a job. I was working for a while. That didn't help because stuff just kept going on. Anytime I checked my Twitter or anything, it got worse. I remember my significant other telling me, "Don't check your Twitter," and I checked it anyway. Because I was just like, well, it was my account. I know I shouldn't have went on there. I shouldn't have probably went on there because when I did, there was people saying, "Oh well, you know, she stole money from me, and watch out for her, and she steals money from people." So then now I had threats on me that I stole money from people, and that's all I did was commission people and take their money. And I was like, I had told my significant other, I was just like, well, at the time, I told my significant other at that time that I was like, oh, hey, there's this going on. And he's just like, well, didn't I tell you not to go on Twitter? It's like, why are you going on Twitter? When I tell you stuff, you don't listen like that. I'm just like, well, I'm tagged in it. I don't know. I just wanted to go in there to see some art or something. He's just like, don't go on Twitter at all. I'm like, what? I don't know. That's a place I just used to go when everything was fine, which I thought everything was fine. I don't know, but I guess somewhere in my brain I'm just like, yeah, I forgot. Everything's posted on Twitter, so when is your Twitter ever not gonna be fine? So for a few weeks, my Twitter was full of people just saying, oh, hey, go kill yourself. Fuck you. Go fuck yourself. Go die. Stuff like that. Until I just stopped looking at it for a long time. And I know I wasn't on my Twitter, I would say, for a month or two. And then I remember after a while of me working, I remember I looked down there one day and it was just silent. Nobody saying anything. Nobody liking posts. I remember I got the confidence to share a post. No one said anything on it. No one did anything. I was just like, I was wondering where everyone went. But then I had to stop and think. Everything is spread everywhere, so no one really speaks to me anymore.